Hey guys, I want to show you how to add your solfege that's assigned for you this week from Enumbra. And in order to do that, you need your solfege key that you made. If you didn't make one, you can pause this and take a picture or write this down. That was an assignment for last week if you weren't in class. And so this is the solfege key that you need. Basically, it tells you all of the notes that you're going to use in this song. And there's some normal ones and there's a couple of weird ones. Okay, we talked about these accidental. These are the notes that kind of fall in between your regular scale. It's important that you notice whether it's in treble clef or in bass clef, because the notes are going to be different whether they're in treble clef or bass clef, so pay attention to that. The part that I want you to add solfege for this week is on page 6, starting at measure 40. Okay, and so I'm going to start with the tenor part. All right, it starts on that middle or that second line, and so I'll look over here in treble clef. Second line is a mi, so I just real small right here underneath the note I'm going to write mi, and then look, it stays on that note the whole measure, so I'll write it again and again. The next note is one of those weird ones. I see a natural sign, so I'll look over here to my key and it says fi, F-I. All right, so this note is fi. It's going to stay fi for the rest of the measure, okay? And that's anytime there's one of those accidentals, it stays that until the bar line hits. I know there's not a natural sign in front of these notes, but I promise you they're all still fi's. All right, then on this note, I have a second line, 1, 2. So that's going to be a re, and you can just write R, okay? And then look, there's another one, re, okay? And then on this next part, I have another re, and then one on that second space. I remember that was a mi, re, another, apparently I write too hard, and then another mi. Okay, then my note's going to skip way up over here. All right, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, fourth line. So I come over here to my key and I count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a la. Okay, so I'm going to write la, and look, it stays on the same note, la, la, la. And then as I keep going, I'm like, okay, third space, 1, 2, 3. I come over to my key, 1, 2, 3, and I see that it's so, so, so. And then looking on the next page, top of the next page, measure 46. It's that second space again, and by now you probably have memorized that's a mi. Okay, and I want you to stop there for this week. I just want you to get measure 40 through 46. Now, I want you to do the tenor and the bass part. I want you to do the tenor and the bass part. So now let's come back to the bass part. All right, I'm looking at the bass clef, so that means I have to use this part of the solfege key. If you use this one, it's not going to be right. Okay, so when I look at the bass clef at measure 40, and I look and I'm going to count again, 1, 2, 3, third line. So I come over here, 1, 2, 3, and it's a la. Okay, so I'm going to mark this first note as la, and then look, it stays on that for 2 more notes, la, la, la. Okay, then I'm going to look over here, I'm going to go, it's on a space, 1, 2, third space, so I come back to my key, 1, 2, third space is a T, and look, it stays on that for the whole measure, T, T, T. All right, then I've got one on the second space, so I come over here and it's a so. So, so, and then look, this is still a so at the beginning of this next measure, and then it goes up 1. You can look at your key, or you could just think, what's right above so? La. So those are both laws. All right, then I've got to skip, so I better go back to my key and make sure I know what this is. All right, I've got to count 1, 2, 3, fourth space. So I come over here to my key, 1, 2, 3, fourth space is a re. All right, and look, it stays on that note the rest of the measure, re, re, re. And then come over here, 1, 2, 3, fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a do, and that's another do. Dang it. And then I've got only one more note to do at measure 46, top of the next page, and it is on the 1, 2, 3, third line. And so I come over here, 1, 2, 3, and that's a la. Okay, so all you're doing is figuring out how to tell what these notes are on solfege. In order to do that, you use your solfege key. You have to do the bass and the tenor part. The only thing that was really weird about this one was this measure right here, okay, in the tenor part where we had one of the weird notes. We had a fee, and I told you once it's fee, it stays fee for the rest of the measure until this bar line hits. Okay, so all those are fees. For most of the solfege, I don't care if you just write the first letter, but for those weird ones, you have to write the second letter because you can't tell if it's a fa or a fee. So measure 40 through 46 is all you have to do, and then take a picture of that and submit it, and that will be your grade for your solfege upload for this week. Good luck.